Go side repair, and today I'm working on a 2004, I believe, Polaris Outlaw 50. So what we got going on here is the starter. When you turn the key on, hit the starter button, it clicks like it has a dead battery. Check the battery. The battery is testing at 12.7 volts, and when I hit the starter, it only drops down to 11.9. So it has enough power to start it up. So the starter, I pulled it off here. It's just two Allen bolts to take it off. Pull that off. Hit the start button, it spins freely. So I'm going to pull the side cover off on the other side and take a look at that. No need to watch that on camera. You can see the bolts here all the way around. Alright, and around back. So let me just take that off and I'll be right back. Bolts out. It doesn't look like you need to take that one out. It's just going to kind of be in the way, but we should be able to maneuver it around it. We got these two 10 millimeters here, and then we have Allen keys around the bottom. There, one there, one up here, there, one in the center. There's a bunch of tabs on this, which tell me that it's going to be kind of stuck, so I'm going to work on getting this off, and then we'll see how it looks underneath. So there's a gasket in here, and the gasket goes on before the belt, so it's getting held up by the belt. Let's try to get this off. Alright, so see the gasket right there? The gasket goes on first and then the belt, so we're good there. Doesn't look too dirty, but so here's the gear where our starter mechanism goes through, and it seems pretty tight right there, and then here's the piece behind it that engages. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to take this out right here and make sure that everything is spinning freely. So I'm going to take off these two Allen keys. Alright, just a plate. Hang in there. Alright, so that was just a plate right there that came off. Couple washers, two washers there. 3 washers. This gear is just sliding off the shaft right here. Alright, so that just slides off like that. This is just a gear that's on a roller. There's little bearings in there. They all look fine. So behind it is the gear, and that gear is stuck. So we'll need to pull this off, get this whole pulley off, and look back here and see what's going on. Alright, so I hit the center nut there with a impact gun, washer, star for the stuff there. Alright, the star washer there. And the belt's off, out of the way. Got a spacer and a washer. And there's the rollers that you can change if you wanted to change rollers. And then here's our problem inside of here. Alright, so it's connected to the crankshaft in the center, and the outer part is the starter, and it's stuck solid. So let's get this apart. Find out what's going on. It's like 3 Phillips heads here. Alright, so wiggle that out of there. Here's the starter clutch, and the starter clutch has springs, roller, and a little plunger right there. It's not moving good at all. Going to retrieve the plungers and put them back together. Looks like we didn't need to take those screws out. That comes off as one piece. Alright, so that's back together there. The roller's in place. And you can see them sticking out here. Okay, they're going to ride on this. Okay, when this spins from the starter, it engages this, spins the motor, and then when it starts up, these just roll back in like that, so that it can continue to run. But the problem that we're having here is looks like there's a bearing inside of here, and this is just stuck solid on here. Seems like this should be able to come out by itself. Alright, let me look at this a minute, now we'll get back. So I'm pulling it off and we can see the problem. Alright, so there's some roller bearings inside here that have to work smoothly, and they're all gummed up. So I'm going to work on taking this off, and I'm just kind of wiggling it lightly, keeping outward pressure. There it goes. There we go. So I'm going to have to flush this out. See the bearings inside there? Make sure they roll good. Clean that up real good. It looks a little rusty and nasty. So we're going to get this all cleaned up. Yep, it's got some rust on it. So I'm going to sand that smooth right there, clean it up, clean up these rollers, make sure they're working good, because the rollers seem to be turning. So I'm going to take those, flush those out, clean an inside of that as well, and then we'll reassemble it and see what we got. What I'm doing here, I just got some fine sandpaper, just cleaning up the surface right here. I got the bearing soaking in there and some cleaner. We'll make sure that all rolls good. Clean this all up good. Clean up the other side, the inner, where the bearing rolls on that, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Alright, so I cleaned up inside of there, the surface right here. Cleaned up inside the gear right here on the outside. Got the bearings right there. So the bearings slide on there. You see now they roll good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them inside of the gear right here. I'm going to put a little WD-40 around the section out here, just to help them roll a little bit better. We're going to slide the gear on. Alright, and that's how it should look, like that. That's more like it, okay? Now it's spinning free, so now we're going to start to reassemble. Now I took this circ clip off here, but you don't need to do that. So I'm just going to put it back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, put it together in my hand, so I can push the rollers into place a little bit easier. Alright, and you can see how this works. It only turns one way. Alright, see that there? Now we can take this whole piece, keeping it together, we go. Slide that whole piece on like that. All right, from there, we got to slide the inner pulley on the rollers. All right, we got our belt put back on. Hit that with the air ratchet. You can see now how that spins nice back there. All right, we got this gear to put back on. Just gonna clean this off quick. Put that on there. Two Allen keys there. Everything's looking good. Alright, so now I'm just going to reassemble the side cover. Put the side cover back on. You can see the gears now are working just fine. Alright, when this one starter gear spins, you can see the one in the back spinning right there. Spins the other way, turns the edge, everything's working good. So let me reassemble this thing and then we'll fire it up. So let's see what we did worked. Beautiful. That's it, so that's all there is to it. It's kind of like a clutch sprag, so those rollers in there, they just have to be clean and everything needs to be spinning easily. So when all that stuff gets binded up, the starter's trying to turn it and it's just all gunked up. So get in there, clean it all out, take it all apart. Wasn't too bad. It took me about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to get everything done. So just take your time and get it done right, guys. Happy riding. I'll see you next time. Tepco Cycle Repair.